DLP truck. I've been working on a number of more long-term projects with my shooting than short-term stuff, so I've been focused mostly on the shooting videos. Here I'm going to do a video of comparing my two CZ MTRs, 457's, to one another to talk about the issue of barrel lottery and or rifle lottery, or do they all shoot well? Is there a lot of variation between them? Those kind of things. And to close that particular project out, I took both the rifles out to the range and shot at 50 yards ARA Factory Targets. Each one got 2 targets. I started with CZ, what I call CZ number 2, the newest one. I've had it about 2 or 3 years, and CZ1, which I've had about 3 or 4 years, and shot 2 targets each and seen how they did with an untested lot of SK Pistol Match Special. In addition to that data, I have 30 plus targets shot over the last 3 years with my CZ number 2 and 30 plus targets shot with CZ number 1, or probably more than that with CZ number 1, probably 50 or more with CZ number 1. And so we'll take a look at that and see what that data collected over the last several years kind of tells me about my 2 rifles. Now, your mileage may vary, and certainly I don't think either rifle shoots badly. I'll be up front. Both shoot very well. With the right ammo, one can do a lot of things, and it's just a matter of trying to get them to pay off in the long term. Let's begin by looking at the target shot by CZ number 2. Here are the 2 targets, and you can see how they look. One scored a 2075 and the other was a 1800. As you can see from the video that follows, the wind was what it is this time of year. At the bench end of the range, it was fairly windy, probably 5 to 15 miles an hour with gusts, and I was using 3 wind flags and shooting with the wind as best I could with that rifle. The next 2 targets are the CZ number 1, which is the older of the 2, which I shot second, and one of those was 2175 and the other was 2250. And so you get a sense that in this particular case, as you can see by looking at the number of 25 scores and by looking at the number of shots that hit the center dot, CZ number 1 consistently outperformed CZ number 2. And the variation is fairly significant to me. Whether that's significant to you or not, I don't know. Secondarily, I took the data that I collected over the last several years shooting ARA factory targets and compared them to one another by overall and by ammo type. And as you can see there, the CZ number 1 almost uniformly, not quite uniformly, but almost uniformly outshot CZ number 2 pretty consistently. In general, the standard deviations were much smaller with CZ number 1 or number 2, but the number of targets was substantially lower, so one can kind of expect that as well in terms of that process. So as you can see from looking at this particular set of data, there are differences between the rifles while both shoot well. For me, CZ number 1 continues to outperform CZ number 2 by a pretty substantial margin. So I am pretty happy with where that kind of is ended up, or what I think is coming from that result, and may you find it helpful. May all your shooting be X's, and have a great day. Out here tonight shooting my CZ457 MTRs with 20-inch barrels. Both identical except for one has a jarred trigger, one has a trigger spring. This one has, CZ number 1 has an Athlon 40 power
scope on it. The CZ number 2 has a Swampfox Patriot 6x25 shooting 50 yards. As you can see, the wind is coming left to right, but it's fairly calm down at the other end. But it's pretty strong, coming from roughly 6 to 8 with bursts to 9, with gusts of probably 10-15, with consistent dropping within about 5. So that's kind of how it is tonight, and we'll see how it goes.